Now we will see about the liability of the agent, principal and also the third parties in a contract of agency as per the Contract Act. Section 224 says that a principal will not be liable for the acts of the agent if the act done is a criminal act. If it is a contract for doing some criminal activity, it is against the law, unlawful object, the contract is not enforceable in law. Section 224 also says that if the activity is a criminal act, the principal will not be liable. Then Section 225. Section 225 deals with the principal's liability in case the agent has suffered some injury, damage on account of the negligence of the principal. If he has suffered something on account of the negligence of the principal, then the principal has to bear the loss. Principal has to give the damages. For example, the principal is giving a cycle to a agent. You take this cycle, go to the shop and buy this product. He is going with the cycle has some defect in that. Because of the inherent defect in that, he fell down and suffered a damages, injury, then the principal will be liable. So, another example, a person came for painting a house. This person gave a ladder. Because of the faulty ladder, he fell down, suffered injury, then principal will be liable. In case negligence, due to the principal's negligence, the agent suffered loss, then principal will be liable. Next we will see about the agent's liability to the third party. The agent is doing the business on behalf of the principal. So whatever he has done is on behalf of the principal, and the principal will be liable to third parties in respect of any act done by his agent. His liability is as if he himself has done that act. This is a general rule. But there is an exception. Principal is not bound by the act of the agent if he has done something beyond the scope of authority. Scope of authority is given by the principal to the agent. The principal says to the agent, you do this. And if this person has done something beyond that power, then he will not be liable. For example, the principal wanted this his agent, you buy 100 bags of rice. This agent has purchased 100 bags of rice and 100 tins of coconut oil. So what he has done is coconut oil is not within his scope of authority. He should have purchased only the rice. A principal will be liable only for the purchase of rice. He will not be liable for the activity of buying the coconut oil. If he has done anything outside the scope, he will not be liable. Another example, if this person asked his driver to take the vehicle from the workshop and bring it to the car shed. What the driver, his agent has done, he has taken the vehicle, went along with the friends for a jolly ride. In between, met with an accident. In that case, the principal will not be liable. What was the authority given to him? Take the vehicle from the workshop to the car shed. But he has taken out of the way, outside the scope of authority. So, for that activity, principal will not be liable. Only agent will be liable. This is the rule, general rule. Again, one more thing. In case he has done something which is separable, then he will be liable for that activity. If it is not separable, he will not be liable for that. Take the old example. Principal asked the agent to buy 100 bags of rice. This person has purchased 100 bags of rice and also 100 tins of coconut oil. If the price is a consolidated amount, if it is a one transaction, then the principal will not be liable. But if the agent can say this is the price for the rice, This is the price for the coconut oil. If that can be separated, then the principal will be liable only for the act of purchasing the rice. For the coconut oil, agent will be personally liable. Then section 229 deals with the notice. If somebody wants to issue a notice to the principal, he can send a notice to the principal or he can give it to the agent. If it is given to the agent, it has the effect of serving a notice on the principal. This is section 229. Section 230 says, an agent cannot demand performance because the contract was entered into by the agent on behalf of the principal. Only the principal has the right to enforce the contract with the third party. Even if the third party wants to sue against that, if you want to file a suit against a person, he can file only against the principal. Agent will not come into the picture. Agent has no right to demand performance of the contract. But section 230 gives 3 exceptions. One is where the principal is outside the country. He is in abroad. Then he cannot file suit. Then in that case, agent can file suit. First. Second, undisclosed principal. The agent has entered into a contract, but he has not told that for whom he is doing. If it is an undisclosed principal, then agent can file suit. Third, if the principal is not able to file suit because of some incapacity, for example, the principal is insane, in that case also, agent can file suit. These are the 3 exceptions to the general rule that the agent cannot enforce a contract. Now, section 231 and 232 deals with the undisclosed principal. What is undisclosed principal? The agent is going to another person and he does all these things. He says that I am doing it for some other person, I will not say for whom I am doing. Or without saying also he might have done. This is undisclosed principal. For example, we are going to the theatre. We stand somewhere, we send a person to buy a ticket. The theatre person sells a ticket. This agent receives it. Agent is receiving the ticket on behalf of us. The theatre owner doesn't know that we are the person who is coming to the theatre to see the movie or drama. So we are the undisclosed because the person don't know that we are the principal. He may be thinking agent is buying the ticket for his own, or he may be thinking he is for some other person, but the principal identity is not disclosed to the theatre owner. In that case, section 231 gives a right to the person, that third party, if he knows the principal before performance, and if he says that had you been the principal, I would not have entered into a contract with your agent, in that case he need not perform. For example, some people may be known for default in payments. If it is a case of everybody in the trade may be knowing, if you are giving a goods to that person, he will not give you the price. Don't give on credit, only give cash to that person, may be the general feeling. Somebody will be marked like that. In that case, the person who is known for default may employ a agent and send to some other person. The agent, without disclosing, may buy goods on credit for this principal. But the other people, if they know that this is the principal, they would not have sold it. There is a case, British case, a very old case. There was a person who was a critic of these dramas. He used to buy a ticket for the first show. On the second day, he write a review of the drama. So many negative things about the drama. and the drama people, drama troupe and the theatre people don't like him. They don't sell ticket to this person. What he did, he sent another person to buy a ticket. The ticket was purchased. When he was going to enter, the theatre owner refused entry. Matter went to the court. It was held that the theatre person has a right to say that I will not admit you, because it is their choice to whom they are going to enter into a contract. That right is given here in 231. Had I known that you are the person, I would not have entered into a contract. This is the base. He need not perform it. Then same thing, some right is given to the principal also in 232. Even in undisclosed principal, he can say that I am the principal. Before the performance, he can go to the third party, say that I am the principal, you do performance. He can demand performance. He is given the right. But there is a condition on that. His right is subject to the right of the agent. If the agent and the other person had some other dealings, that agent's right will be restricted by that, and the principal can demand only that. For example, A wanted B to sell 100 tins of oil. B went to C and sold that oil tins, 100. C and B already had some business transactions. B has to pay 50,000 rupees to C. C was thinking, I have purchased 100 tins from him. While making a payment, I will reduce that 50,000 and give only the remaining amount. Now, if A is coming into the picture as a principal and is demanding the performance from the third party, the third party has a right to adjust that 50,000, because section 232 says the right of a principal to enforce the contract is subject to the right of the principal, subject to the right of the agent. Whatever the agent has a right, in this case agent has a right to recover 100 tins of oil minus that 50,000 rupees. His right is subject to the right of the agent as on the date of the contract. This is section 232. Then section 233 says the third party can file a suit against the principal or the agent or both. But after filing a suit, subsequently he cannot add the agent. He has a right to proceed against anybody. Then section 234, consequences of inducing a person to act. A person may tell the agent, I will not proceed against you. It may be detrimental to your principal. You enter into a contract, I will not proceed against you. And he may tell the principal, I will not proceed against you, I will proceed only against the agent you enter into a contract. For example, the third person may tell to the agent, you buy this, it is an exorbitant rate. Anyway, I will file suit against the principal and get it. Now you enter into a contract. If something is happening like that, on the promise that I will not proceed against the agent or I will not proceed against the principal, and induce the other person to enter into a contract, in that case they cannot proceed against the agent or the principal. This is section 234. Then section 235, pretended agent. Somebody may pretend that as if they are the agents of a person. They may not be agent, but they pretend that they are the agent. In that case, the agent will be personally liable unless the other person ratifies that. For example, a person may go to the village people, one big company is coming here, you sell your land, like that he may act as an agent. He pretends to be an agent of that big company. Then he will be liable. The company will not be liable unless the company ratifies. Sometimes he might have canvassed from the people for purchase of 100 acres. Then he may go to the company, I have arranged for purchase of 100 acres. Sometimes the company may think that anyway we are going for a expansion, 100 acres are there, we will buy it. In that case, if the company may ratify it. Only on that the principal will be liable. If it is not there, the person who pretended to be an agent will be personally liable. This is section 235. Section 236. Falsely contracting agents. He is not an agent, but he say I am an agent and he is entering into a contract. Then the agent cannot enforce a contract. For example, a person may not be a dealer of a big company. He may say, I am the dealer of this company, he may enter into a contract. In that case, the agent will be liable, principal will not be liable. Then, section 237. Liability of principal in case of estoppel. The principal himself, by his own conduct, may induce the others to enter into contact with the agent. Agent may be doing something. By the act of the principal, others may believe that he is an agent. In that case, a principal will be liable, because the agent, by his own conduct, by estoppel, he has induced the other people to accept that he is an agent of the principal. In that case, a principal will be liable. The last 238 is regarding fraud. If the agent has done something fraud, if the agent has misrepresented, the principal will be liable if it has been done within the scope of authority given. If it is beyond the scope of authority given, then principal will not be liable. There was a case on a State Bank of India. One depositor or their customer went to the house of the clerk, gave the checks, asked him to deposit in the bank's account. The person accepted the check, encashed it and credited in his own account. This is a fraud. When they went to the court, they were proceeded against the State Bank of India, the banker. It was held that the banker is not liable because it is outside the scope of authority. Had he done something when he was sitting at the counter of the bank, it is within the scope of authority, bank will be liable for the fraud. But in this case, it is outside the scope of authority because these people went to his house and gave the check. So it is outside the scope of authority. General rule is for any fraud or misrepresentation committed by the agent, the principal will be liable. He will not be liable if it is committed outside the scope of authority. In the next session, we will see some more topic.